the devil's eyes. I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was pure and simply evil.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Brad.
I'm Miguel.
And welcome back to Let's Talk Movies. This is episode number 21 of Purely and Simply Evil, where we take huge deep dives into classic horror flicks.
Huge deep shits and classic horror flicks.
In your mouth all the time. At least twice a week. Tonight on the show, listen, out of everything we had planned for Oktoberfest, for the very first Oktoberfest, which has been an absolute blast, by the way. It's been crazy.
And we thank you guys for joining us.
Yes, we thank you for coming with us on this journey. But out of everything that we had planned, I've been looking forward to tonight a lot because we're watching Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, and this is definitely up there with Halloween Resurrection, now with Halloween Ends and Halloween Kills, with Halloween 5, with Halloween 6, as some of the most hated and some of the most controversial entries in the Halloween franchise. And there are many reasons for that. There are things I love about this movie, and there are things that I hate about this movie. And I don't want this to be a Rob Zombie roast session because I would put...
It's genuinely not going to be, honestly.
It's really not going to be. It's an interesting one to dive into because there are so many weird choices made. And part of me looks back to this film and I'm like, people are saying that Halloween Ends is the craziest thing that they've ever done, but I'm like, no, it's not. Like, we had Michael in a cult. We had Michael bitched out by Busta Rhymes. We had Michael Myers being led around by his mother on a white horse. Like, there's so many things that made this movie really, really unique. We're going to talk about the backstory and how H2 came to be. There's things about it that, again, that I love, and I think there is about 15 minutes of possibly one of my favorite sequences in the entire franchise. But there are just moments that just fall incredibly flat on its face for me. So I'm excited to do this one. Miguel, how you doing, my friend? Are you alive? Are you here with us? We don't have sound for Miguel right now. Can't unmute your guest. Their mic is not connected.
Okay, not good.
You're good now. Now it's not. Now you're gone. Well, guys, this has been fun. Do you have any idea what's wrong? He said give him 1 second, so we're going to give him 1 second. Real quick, while we're waiting on Miguel, I know you guys are in the chat. What's going on, everybody? I saw, there was one that went away. I forget who it was. There was somebody here, and the comment went away. I'm not sure why. Art Wishwood's in the house. What's going on, Art? He said Halloween 2 2009 ranks number 11 or 12th on my Halloween ranking list of Halloween movies in the franchise. That brings me to a good point. Next week, not sure exactly what day, but next week we are going to rank the entire franchise from the original all the way through Rob Zombie's films and now through the Blumhouse trilogy, 1978 to 2022. We're going to rank every single film in the franchise. That's going to be maybe one of the coolest episodes we have ever done. And it sounds like Miguel's back. Right?
Oh, could you hear my keyboards?
No, but I could hear you going.
Oh, okay.
I could hear that Michael breathing behind that like asthma breathing behind the mask.
I don't have asthma.
No, I'm kidding.
How dare you assume my... Yeah.
How dare you assume what critical illnesses I might have? Art also said, my favorite death is Misty Dawn, the stripper. You guys count how many times she gets her face smashed. Yeah, dude, it's a lot, God. Man. She's got a terrible death, honestly. Art also said Resurrection has grown on him since the last year.
Has it really though?
I think Resurrection has gone down, if that's even possible. we'll talk about Resurrection some next week, but so now that you can answer my question, dude, how are you doing?
I'm doing a lot better now that I can properly speak, I guess. I know, that was my main concern. I was like, oh my god, what are we gonna do, guys?
Yeah. Well, you're here, and that's okay, you know?
Here, look, guys, I'm not used to Max, so you gotta give me some props, because I'm working with what I got.
We're all working we're working with it. We're working with it. We're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. We did a commentary on this, and we did an episode about Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2 earlier on in our show's history. And
dog, it was like episode like fucking 7 or something like that.
It was very early on. So that's why we wanted to come back and revisit those. We already watched Rob Zombie's H1. And I've got history with H2 because I saw H1 in the theater, enjoyed it. Again, these were my introduction to the Halloween franchise. I was an Elm Street fan. I was a Friday fan. I was a Texas fan prior to being a Halloween fan. I didn't really get into Halloween until I was like, a little bit like mid-teenage years. Like, I don't know if I couldn't appreciate it as much, I don't think. And it took Rob Zombie's films for me to really appreciate it. Loved one. I loved one, and then when the trailer for H2 came out, I was like, this looks sick. It was such a cool trailer. Because it said, like Rob Zombie completes his extraordinary vision or whatever, and it's like Loomis saying Michael's more evolved and Laurie running through the hospital, and it was this whole really, really epic trailer that they played. But looking back on it now, and after actually seeing the movie, we know that it kind of dick slapped you in the face a little bit when you actually saw the movie, because the movie was extraordinarily different than what we got in that trailer. And well, it's true. It was just so unexpected. It was a completely different vibe from what the trailer was. The trailer didn't seem like it was going to be anything like that at all. And my issues with this, a lot of people have an issue with Michael and the fact that he speaks. I don't like that he speaks at the end.
It's literally just 1 second.
I know. Does he speak in the we're watching the theatrical cut, by the way. So if you're going to watch with us, go ahead and get your copy ready and all that stuff. Like, as we're kind of talking about it, go ahead and get however you're going to watch the film with us, watch it, go get your stuff ready right now. But I don't know if we are watching the theatrical cut. That was the point of me saying that. Not the director's cut, which made me think, though, does he speak in the theatrical cut or does he speak in the unrated cut? I'm not 100% sure. It's been a while. Since I watched it.
The last time I saw this movie was that commentary. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it probably was too. So it's been a couple of years. My issue is not with Michael Myers with this film. I think Michael is fine, even with the torn mask. Like, honestly, my favorite mask in the entire series is the when he's in the hospital with the blood coming down. That's my favorite look. I think, for Michael in the entire franchise. My issue is not with him. I think my issue comes from the characters and the creative choices that Rob Zombie made. I think that's my biggest issue with it. I don't understand why you have Laurie, who went through this terrible, traumatic event as a child, as a teenager, that is suddenly like thinking serial killers are the best thing since sliced bread, and she's all emo and goth, and she's like, like that. That's just weird to me. Loomis being a pompous douche, like, if I want your opinion, I'll slap it out of you. Like that kind of, like, what?
I'll say this: he wasn't pompous. He was just an asshole. He was just a douche.
But I could understand it if at the end of Rob Zombie's Halloween 1, Loomis won, and he was like, I'm the guy who defeated Michael Myers, and he had kind of a hero complex. And then in H2, you kind of told the story of Loomis is kind of getting knocked down a notch because he's like, oh, I didn't win. Michael's back. Like, I'm not a hero. That could have been interesting. But Loomis lost at the end. Like, Loomis did not get what he wanted at the end of Rob Zombie's H1. So it doesn't make any sense that magically Loomis is like this, he's got this hero complex, and he's like he's trying to like bitch everybody out all the time, and he's trying to get like I don't know, it was very strange. Brackett and Danielle Harris, her Annie, they were obviously the two like shining stars of this for me, and I love Scout Taylor Compton. I love Danielle Harris. I love Brad Dourif and Malcolm McDowell and Tyler Main. It's nothing against the actors at all. And, like, I'm not saying that any of them are watching this, but, like, by the off chance that, I know Danielle Harris and Scout Taylor Compton are really, really, like, into the community. So, like, if they ever saw this, like, this is not anything against them. It's just, I don't understand why some of the choices were made in this film. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
No, it does make sense. And honestly, with how this movie has portrayed like the legacy of these characters, it's almost like we should have known what we were getting ourselves into with knowing that it was directed by Rob Zombie, and that's not a knock on him whatsoever. What I'm saying is, you got the style choices or the themes and such stuff like that, the atmosphere that directors choose in their movies. You can almost tell what kind of movie it was going to end up being. So, like, this wasn't going to be like the characters that you guys have, come to know and love. So, I wasn't particularly surprised when I saw the first time Rob Zombies 2 after watching the original. So, that goes without saying, though, that when it comes to these characters here, there are some good actors. And I can agree with Brad for sure. The ones that I don't like the most is definitely Loomis, even though what's his name? Who's the guy that plays
Malcolm McDowell.
Loomis? Yeah, with Malcolm McDowell, I was very, and it sucks that he got such a shitty script in this one, because he honestly could play Loomis, in a reboot.
He did a great
phenomenal
job
in the first one, yeah. So I don't know. I think the whole Loomis one bothers me. And again, particularly the trailer trash themes, I'm not particularly a fan of. And that comes from someone that's like that's grown up in a trailer house, man. So, yeah.
Yeah. What's up, Fruit Loops? She said it. So it is the unrated cut where he speaks. So maybe we won't have to hear Michael speak in this one. Fruit Loops also said he ruined Loomis. Yeah, he did ruin Loomis. I think Loomis, as far as characters go, I think Loomis is the biggest travesty in this entire thing. She also said Lori made sense, her upset and spiral. I don't know. Again, that's why we're rewatching it. Maybe I'll enjoy it more this time. Maybe I'll catch something that I've never caught before. But I mean, I've seen this thing probably close to 10 times since 2009, since it came out. I mean, and it's just, I'm serious. I want to love it so bad because I had so much emotional attachment. I don't know if I've ever had as much emotional. Probably Halloween Ends was the one that I've had the most emotional attachment going into, like sentimental stuff. But this one was sentimental to me going in, and I remember like it's been a slow. Like I walked out and I was like teenage me was like, this is awesome, and then slowly as I dove more into the franchise and became more a part of or in touch with the community and stuff, I was like, is it? Maybe it's not. Maybe I was wrong. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just, it's very strange. Art said trauma does crazy things to people. And that's true, too. That's another thing
really
to remember.
Does. I mean,
like,
they
all went through a very traumatic thing.
And look what happened to Allison. I mean, you guys, some people like dog on Lori for how she acted on Rob Zombies 2, but then you kind of make sense whenever you see Allison and what happened to her. I'm not going to spoil the movie. I guess we talked about it anyways.
Honestly, I think everybody's seen Halloween Ends at this point. All of us, at least, and most of you in the chat probably have seen Halloween Ends at this point.
Yeah, so you'd understand why Allison's trauma causes her to end up wanting to suck face with a child murderer and Biff Tannen. So it kind of makes sense now looking back with Lori and how she's so obsessed with these serial killers. So, I mean, I can commend Rob Zombie in trying to attempt how trauma affects different people.
Yeah.
But that's just the thing. Trauma affects different people. So you can't really give it a picture as to how people would react after the events of, Sabretooth Michael just wrecking shit up. So, no. I personally am excited to see this again to get a better understanding. After seeing the entire franchise, you got to understand that.
Right.
Like,
Right.
this is the first time I'm seeing this movie after watching the entire franchise of
That's
Halloween.
true.
So
So
here we
maybe
go.
maybe you'll even see it with a different lens in this film. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You know, and I know Rob Zombie. By the way, we're paused. If you're gonna watch with us, we're paused at the white horse linked to instinct, purity, and the drive of that whole quote at the beginning. Like as soon as it pops up, we pause. So that's where we are. So if you're gonna watch with us, we're gonna start this in just a minute. But yeah, by the way, Fruit Loops is here. That's what I was saying. J-Dad's already going to say that I'm already having my pen strokes. Art's here. Rosalie is here. What's going on? Sierra's here. All you guys that are here, be sure to leave it a like. Thank you so much for hanging with us. I know there was also a lot of negativity going into the production too. Like Rob Zombie already had a terrible time making the first film. He did not get along with the Weinsteins, which, I mean, like, correct, shocker, right? The Weinsteins are hard to work with, Bob and Harvey. Like, I know. But, you know, he had a hard time. He had no interest. He didn't want to do H2. Two French filmmakers had come forward, and they were like, we're a big fan of Rob Zombie and his work. We would love to work on the sequel. So they wrote a treatment that had... Brackett revealed as Laurie's dad, and Michael and Laurie were both taken to the hospital, and he was trying to, like, they were trying to get the bullet out of his head, and it was essentially the same kind of thing with the hospital. Loomis died. They didn't save Loomis. Loomis ended up dying at the end of H1. I'm trying to think what else. There was a lot, like, and Malik had told Rob, he was like, listen, man, make this your own. Like, don't worry about my dad's rules that he had for the rest of the sequels. Like, do your own vision. And I think he was already, like, kind of on the fence about doing this anyways, which is interesting. I feel like that's a parallel between John Carpenter and Rob Zombie. Neither of them really wanted to do a sequel to their film, but I think Rob, it even says this in Taking Shape, Rob kind of felt ownership of the remake characters at this point. He was like, he didn't like what they were going to do with them, so he was like, I'll just come back and do it. But it did end up like Laurie still struggling to accept the fact that Michael was her brother, and like she ended up putting on the mask at the end, similarly to like what happens here. It was just a lot. So let's go ahead and start this thing, man. Again, we're paused at the white horse quote right as it comes up. I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, play, and when I say play, we will click play and we'll start this strange, emo, gothic journey together.
Give me a hot second. We're going to get lined up, gentlemen. There we go. Now I'm lined up.
Now you're lined up. All right, here we go.
Yes.
I got my Sam Adams Oktoberfest in hand.
I was going to mention this.
Another one soon.
You popped this, and guess what? I have one too. So I was like, wow, this is a perfect way to end this all. So here.
Cheers me. Tink me.
Cheers.
Tink me.
Tink.
Kiss me
I'm
through the
tinking
phone.
you right now.
Kiss me through.
I wish I had more of these at this point now.
Here we go. Did you say you wish you could ignore me?
No, I said I wish I had more of these at this point.
Oh, okay.
All
right, here we go.
Going through this.
We are paused.
All right.
For me, it's 12 seconds in. Again, whenever the white horse quote is on the screen. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, play, and one. I said that wrong. Don't worry about it. And when I say play, 3, 2, 1, play.
Like, totally forgot about the white horse situation. I'm not gonna lie. That literally just fleed in my mind. Because you know how you like in trauma, you kind of leave things out,
and the dive or whatever. Oh, by the way, that other script they had was I just seeing Sherry Moon at Miss Grove made me think of it. The other script that they had actually dealt with Michael and Loomis at Smith's Grove after she commits suicide. Like Michael is a teenager. So it would have been like H1 was a prequel and a remake, and then H2 would have been like a prequel to the remake, but also a sequel.
Interesting.
Mind blown.
Mind blown.
Yes, our H2
like
is Dimension. H2 is Dimension. And he was, I don't, from what I've read in Taking Shape and from what I've researched, Rob and the Weinsteins did not get along. very well. I don't think so. I think that I think there was just there were a lot of cooks in the kitchen. I think for these films, you know.
A lot of chiefs in this scenario, yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot going on, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that kind of makes me wonder too. Like, did he do this purposely so that, like, did he purposely do this to the characters and do something like strange and different just for the sake of doing something strange and different, or like, was he really trying to tell like an artsy story here? You know what I mean? Because like this is so good. This stuff is incredible. Absolutely incredible. I love the first 20 minutes of this movie. I love it. Like, if you would have just kept going from this moment when Brackett finds Laurie in the street and the hospital stuff, even if you move away, like, you can have the hospital then nod to Halloween 2 1981 and, you know, have like a battle or something take place in the hospital, and then maybe it goes and you pull a Halloween Kills scenario and it's just like Haddonfield versus Tyler Maine's Michael, which would have been brutal. I mean, that could have been a really, really cool take on what you do with a sequel to that first film, but it just, I don't know.
So wait,
he wanted the sizzle, not the steak.
So what happened in real life then? Like,
what do you mean?
It's like this is the dream. So what happened? Did Laurie actually shoot Michael?
I think so, yeah.
I don't think he did.
Terrible, man.
Yeah, she does.
I mean, she's in shock right now, like rightfully so, you know. But that's why I don't understand. I don't understand why it was so logical and so well done at the beginning, and then it was just like, here's the LSD, like let's do coke off the urinal. Like where did it come from? Like as soon as she wakes up from the dream, it's just like, here we go, trains off the tracks. Like, let's do it.
It's like a gateway drug. It's like a gateway drug that ends up to meth, and you end up getting a bad trip.
Yeah.
Pretty much. It's like it gives you something, it offers you something like decently well that you can vibe with, but then all of a sudden they take it away and you got a spoonful of meth. Yeah. And then you're LSD tripping all over the fucking movie.
Right.
I love how they assume it's a car accident.
Yeah. And you know, the cinematography and stuff is great. Like, again, it's none of that is the issue. Like, it is solely the creative decisions with the characters that just makes this so weird. Oh, these guys. These two, the two coroner dudes are like the equivalent of the cops in H5.
So where's Ben Tramer?
Sure. I don't know.
So when you saw this movie, have you already seen like the actual sequel to the original? Like Halloween 2?
No, actually, no. These were I know it's crazy. It sounds crazy, but again, I really didn't get into Halloween until after H2. Like, I was into Elm Street. I had seen the Elm Streets, I had seen the Fridays, but Halloween was just not one that I had gotten into at this point in 2009. It was after this movie came out that I started watching the others.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I was asking is because the way this movie begins, it looks very similar to how it starts with Halloween 2. You know what I mean? Like, Laurie gets sent to the hospital and Michael, you know, supposedly was shot and killed, but he went missing, and then the whole thing happens in a hospital. So like, I'm pretty sure for some people they were like, oh shit, this is gonna be a darker version of the hospital one.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure those 30 minutes were pretty rough, weren't you? I also wonder, where the fuck is this coroner area? Because they're out in the boonies.
Yeah, they really are, though. What's up, J-Did? Said Teo,
Hey,
sorry
man.
I'm late. J-Dad, we're at the weird, creepy corner dudes in the car.
Fine. Fine.
Disgusting. Dude is literally wanting to do a corpse. Gross. Listen, we should take a drink every time one of these two dudes drops an F-bomb. Because over the
Or
next 5 minutes, there's probably 260.
yeah.
I could probably drink a 6-pack as many times as
I about
they
to say,
drop
yeah,
F-bombs.
that's a dangerous game because I am halfway through this beer already, so I'd be done in like
I'm almost finished with this one already.
5 minutes. Yeah.
Also, Homeboy's got an unlit cigar in his hand. Like what? Like what? What kind of corner are you, dude?
It's called preparation.
Yeah, J-Dad, exactly. J-Dad said these corners give off the vibe of a pulsating infected hemorrhoid. Couldn't have said it any better
Golly.
myself. Cow! That poor cow.
Damn. That cow went 50 feet. Well, that cow left the movies quick. I mean, just
That
like
poor,
a lot of audience
listen,
members.
the cow is like it's like the I almost said the Vine, the TikTok where the dude, like the spinning dude, just like leaves space. It's like that's the cow. It just like leaves space.
Oh my god.
It just keeps going.
I'm curious why Michael didn't get like damaged in this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, Art, you're 100% right. His ideas are very interesting. They're not I've never thought that they were boring. They're just weird. Like just like I just don't agree with them entirely, you know?
Yeah.
What's up, Colton? He said,
Hello,
"Sups, dudes. It
friend.
was cool talking to you all at Marika's. Pitch me your idea for a new Friday the 13th movie."
That's all you right
honestly,
there.
dude, I would have to think on that one, man. We might do a video about that in the future. It would have to. I don't want. I'll say this. I want Jason. I don't want Pamela. I know a lot of people are like, "Dude, go back and do Camp Pamela." I do not want a Pamela story. It's got to be Jason for me. You know, you can tie in the Pamela thing, but yeah, man, we got to hang out with Colton when we were with Mike and Jay and the Wham crew at a bar in Lexington. We got to meet him after Scarefest, which awesome dude. Him and his wife were really, really sweet people. So glad you're here, man. Super stoked. We're watching Rob Zombie's H2 right now. We're at the part where Michael's the van doors just like bursted open, and he's about to step out. He
So
steps
if you want
out
to
so
join
suave too.
this cesspool, come join us, please.
As J-Dad said, these corners that are like pulsating hemorrhoids.
Can you imagine? Like, this is Michael's like rough ass alarm clock. Like, my man was asleep, hardcore asleep, and you get the
He looks at him. He's like, "You woke me up."
yeah.
The coroner's like, "Bro, what?"
So this isn't the unrated cut. Oh, never mind. It is.
Whew.
I was literally going to say, because it's not the unrated cut, you weren't going to see this, but you see it. Good gravy. I feel like Michael wouldn't be the type of person to just strictly cut someone's head off. You know what I mean?
I don't. If you listen, I hate that you can see. Oh my God, here we go.
Here we go, boys.
I don't like that you can see his eyes so clearly.
His hair looks like mine. Nappy and greasy right now.
It
Kill
just
for me, boy.
it complete the whole white horse thing just completely ruined everything he did with Michael in the first film. Like, I don't want to know this. Like, I don't. And I know he put the. I think he might have been trying to do something artsy with it because he put the quote at the beginning. Like, there was obviously thought that went into it. It just I don't think it was right for this film. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just don't think it worked for what he was trying to do.
Bro, I'm pretty
Nights
sure
in white
Rob Zombie
satin.
seeing his wife in all white next to a horse. The man was filming that with a huge heart on. I'll be honest. I'm sure he
He
was.
does, man. He does like to have his wife
He
in his
loves
movies.
his
He really
wife.
does.
I forgot. Who the fuck is that?
I honestly, I don't know that I ever realized somebody was sitting in the chair with her.
Yeah.
And didn't hear her getting up. She's only got metal in her body. Oh, it's the nurse.
Oh,
I
okay.
see. It's okay. It's the nurse that we see in the stairwell in a few minutes.
Mm.
Poor Octavia Spencer, man. Whew. Octavia Spencer got it bad in this movie.
She really did. And much respect to her. She's a great actress.
She is a really great actress, man.
Is that Annie?
Yep.
Good golly.
Yeah. I don't remember her face being so carved up in the first film, though. I mean,
Probably
she,
'cause it was
don't get me
covered in
wrong,
blood.
that's true. I mean, she was hurt. I mean, she was down for the count, but like,
Yeah.
but I don't remember her being like so, I don't know, I don't remember her being so messed up.
Oh, baby? Who says it to their friend?
I don't know. We call each other baby, daddy, honey, whatever.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Art said she
Tell
was
them more of
bloody
our
AF.
business.
She was. They don't need to know what we do in the bedroom. It's fine.
No. You know, she's Octavia. What's her? Whoever plays Octavia, she has a horror movie of her own. Do you remember that?
Whoever plays Octavia plays Octavia. What are you talking about?
No. Is that her? Is that her name?
Yeah, that's Octavia
Oh,
Spencer, the actress.
My bad. So Octavia
yeah,
Spencer is in her own. She's in. She has her own horror movie.
Yeah,
She's like a wick. She's like a Ma. There it is. Yeah, Ma.
It was decent,
Bro,
only saw it once.
She dipped out quick.
You know, but this I know it's a dream sequence, but this has the same strange issue as the original Halloween 2. This is the most empty hospital in North America. Where is all the staff? Like,
They're at the Halloween party. You know, nobody gets hurt in Halloween. Nobody ever gets hurt in Halloween. So
Not
they
here.
close down. Yeah, no.
that little bit of throw up in the back of my throat hearing Brad call Miguel daddy. Good times, good times. And there it is. Ooh. Oh, she is sliced from her nose down to her chin. Gross.
Hey, Tyrion got sliced in the face, and now he's Hand of the King. It's that shock factor that's just so fucking scary, because it's like you can't even tell when she's gonna start like fucking losing her shit. It's just her just like shocked.
Yeah. Well, and you could have even shown Michael getting from the van to the hospital. Maybe going through people's houses just on a rampage. Getting to the hospital, then they leave the hospital, and you do the Halloween Kills thing through Haddonfield while Brackett and Loomis and whoever else are trying to get her out. Like, that could have been a brilliant way to do H2. But instead, dream sequence. It's strange.
I swear, this Michael looks like a unlocktable character, like a locked character. Like you can barely see him.
I don't like that he's like yelling. I don't like that. That's strange to me.
I feel like that's his. I feel like that's his decision, like his like actor decision. Damn.
Like Tyler.
Oh.
Yeah, there's the nurse.
Golly.
Like Tyler Maine's decision, you mean?
Yeah, and Rob Zombie's probably like,
Yeah.
yo, that's fucking barbaric.
Seriously, J-Dead, like a brutal version of this, like a more brutal version of Halloween Kills. That's what this could have been.
Mm-hmm.
Like it could have been, it could have worked so much better than it did, man.
Mm-hmm. Why leave the knife too? That's like not even
Now,
like.
I'm not saying I would have wanted 2 hours of that. I mean, there would have had to be more suspense and build up and, you know, tension, but I don't know.
You didn't want to see the scalpel that Michael used to lift somebody, 5 feet up in the air.
Scalpel's as big as this Michael's hand is.
Yeah.
That scalpel would have been like a toothpick compared to him. I also love how she just knows. You know what I mean? Like, she just knew it was him. Like, from the minute... Like, she didn't even have to guess,
Well, I mean, who else is out there to kill her at this very moment,
True. When hours ago you just escaped,
Yeah, like you just shot a man straight in the face after he just tried to kill you and tore up like 2 houses.
Yeah.
So like, what are the odds of it being another man?
Yeah.
Or woman. I'll be gender exclusive.
Yeah, like exactly, J-Dead. Think of the original Halloween 2 amped up 50%.
See,
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure some people saw this movie that were like original fans of Halloween, and they're probably like, yo, this is gonna be fucking dope. But then dream sequence.
Yeah. And the rain, like Halloween set in the rain and during a thunderstorm, like that would have been great, man. That could have been really, really cool and different. And Scout Taylor Compton did a great job. Like, I really liked her in this film,
She looks like she's her age, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She has metal rods in her arm. That shit's hurting right now. Has to.
She's also so amped up on adrenaline and meds, though, that she's
and
probably...
morphine, yeah.
I mean, she's probably loopy at this point. You know what I mean?
Almost as if it's like, she's like in a dream,
Yeah. Yeah. I love that mask, dude. I love it. It's one of my favorite masks in the entire franchise. We're going to rank the masks at some point, and, like, that one is going to be very high up on the list. I'll just say that. I love it.
Bro, wasn't there an overhauled mask in, like, Fear Fest?
Yeah, but it was an H1. It was, like, the cracked H1 mask. It wasn't the bloody H2 one. Now, when half of it's gone, I'm not as much of a fan of that. But
yeah. So we saw those masks in Scarefest. It was like 3 of them. I forgot which ones they were, but they were like really good, like overhauled masks, and they were like selling for like $200 a pop. So we were like, holy shit! So we literally circled that entire like island, and it was gone in a split second. I was like, holy shit!
Yeah,
like people wanted that mask.
It was like $275 though. Like,
yeah,
somebody paid money for that, but it was a good looking Rob Zombie H1. Yeah. Alright, so are you guys going to pass out candy this year, or are you going dancing at the club? Probably just passing out candy. I'm a chill at home dude on Halloween. I like to just chill at home and like watch the original Halloween and,
I'm going to pass out candy to people dancing in the club.
The club! Good Real Hunting, what's going on, Brett Man and Brad? Nice to have you here. Said, love Rob Zombie the H2 with a passion. Oh boy, my friend. I do to an extent. I do for nostalgic reasons because I don't know if I'd say I love it, but I have an appreciation for it nostalgically just because it was the first Halloween film that I was really like, whoa, like I was really genuinely excited for it. And then like we talked about a little earlier, I disagree with many of the creative decisions they made with the characters, but that's just me. I mean, and I'm like, I would never, there's whites in night satin again. Like I will never tell somebody that you're not as much of a Halloween fan or that you're wrong for thinking that H2 is the best or H2O is the best or Halloween Ends is the best. Like I will never do that to somebody, because like we all have our own opinions, and that's what makes this community so cool, is that everybody doesn't think the same thing. If we all thought the same thing about every one of the movies, It would be really, really boring. This would not be as fun as it is to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, our arms would get tired with circle jerking each other for like hours on end if we all agreed on the same thing.
Let's be honest. That's all it would be.
Yeah.
My beer is officially gone, Miguel.
Good God. What a swing.
It's funny. Sean Clark was saying that in his Horrors Hallowed Grounds episode that the guy who built the shed... So they filmed this part, the hospital stuff, at a high school. And the dude who built the shack for the movie was kind of pissed. Or they were kind of pissed when they were filming it because it was so hard for Tyler Mane to destroy it. Like, he had a really, really hard time destroying the shack. And the guy was like, well, what can I say? I built it really well. Like, he was like, you wanted a shack? I built a shack. It looks good.
When you do the job too well.
I know, right? You do the job really, really well.
Yeah.
See, even the mask dripping in the rain, it's such a good-looking mask, man. So good.
It's so menacing. Almost
to own a copy.
Almost like a Jaws kind of thing, just like circling around a prey.
That mask is goals. I would love to have a legit copy of it. The only problem is, especially with the Rob Zombie masks, they're so expensive if you really want a good copy. Like it's just, and I don't know that I'm willing to pay $500 for a really good copy of a mask. Like,
good God.
I don't know if it's worth that much to me, but I would love to have a copy of it.
This is a hard time destroying the fucking shed?
Apparently. Okay. You're also not Tyler Mane, dude. You're not Sabretooth, so.
That's what I mean. Like, it's like, hey, if this is considered a hard time, Tyler, you're okay.
And movie's ruined.
Movie's not ruined. It just shifted pace.
It shifted pace. More like shit the bed.
It only changed shape.
Could you imagine if Lori stood up and she actually, like, shit the bed? Like, literally.
Bro, that'd be fucking hilarious. I would die laughing.
Brettman said, I know a guy that makes great artsy Halloween masks. I plan on buying one in the future. Yeah, dude, I'd love to know who it is. I've always wanted one. Like, I really have. And not even the H... I mean, I would like to have an H1 mask. Eventually, I'd like to have them all. You can kind of see some of them behind me, but... And I have more than that. I have a couple over... I have my H2 and my 18 over here. I've got my H6 over here. Behind me is my Boogeyman, my Kills, my H4, and my Ants. But eventually I want to have them all. But I really do want a good Rob Zombie, like the bloody H2 copy. I love it. Yeah, Rosalia. Tyler Mane's a big dude, man.
Bro, when really did you get that tramp stamp? That's the question.
Apparently at some point in the last couple years. Is this 2 years after? Is this 2 years after? Is it one?
1 year, yeah. Sticky buns. Hey, props to the sticky buns. Shout out to the sticky buns. You saved my high school. What a dad. Wait, is she a vegetarian now?
Yeah.
I don't blame her.
This was the best part of this. Danielle Harris's Annie, Brad Dourif's Bracket, and this whole, like, them living together, like, their relationship. Brad Dourif was the heart of both of these films. He was.
Mm-hmm.
He really was. Like, seriously. The other thing about H2 is I don't feel, and Brett, you might completely disagree with me, dude, but I don't feel particularly, like, connected to any of the characters. Like, I'm rooting for Annie and I'm rooting for Brackett, but that's about it. Like, I'm rooting for Lori.
300 GT.
I think I would root more for Lori if there wasn't the whole psychic connection thing between her and Michael, and she's kind of going crazy too. Like, I didn't like that. I didn't like that they brought back the H4 or H5 H6 thing with that. I wasn't a fan.
And everyone's, entitled to one good scare. Could you imagine if the therapist said that? I would walk out that bitch in a heartbeat. I'd be like, give me back my money? Okay, that's 120 an hour, dogs. Therapy.
She's got a scar up there. I never noticed that before. Lori's got a big scar up on her forehead.
Bro, Annie and Lori have scars on their face. Like, at least Rob Zombie at least acknowledged the fact that they got damaged in this movie.
Yeah.
Both mentally and physically.
Rosalia said, I doubt Corey would have brought down this Michael. Hell to the no, Corey wouldn't have brought down this Michael. But this Michael is also only in his 20s, really. I mean,
Corey would have been an archaic painting on the wall in that sewer if he went against this Michael.
He would have been a cave painting.
Just splattered. My God.
Jaded said, I'm finally working on a Halloween short story. It takes place in 2000 as a prequel to 18. Michael is accidentally put in General Pop at Smith Grove. Loomis is called in to help capture him. That's cool, dude. That's pretty cool. I dig that a lot.
Pretty cool. And you know what I love so much about that, Jada? Is the fact that you want to introduce Loomis back in here.
Yeah.
Like, you're throwing, like, you're not really, like, the focus isn't mainly on Lori, which then again, look, Laurie Strode's story is very impactful, but again, I think me and Brad are on the same camp as that Loomis is the heart of the movie. Not this one, though.
Yeah, trauma does weird things to people. Especially Loomis, apparently, in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, when did he become all, like, I'm the greatest thing that's ever happened to the planet? Like, it...
Yeah, I don't know. You just got your shit whacked in the first movie, and all of a sudden you're a douche. I mean, that makes sense.
It doesn't.
I don't know, man. You imagine you get your ass kicked so viciously in a fight, but nobody saw it. I would make some shit up. I'd be like, yeah, I won. Yeah, my face is rough, but you should see the other guy. You know what I mean?
Like, he's pissed at the picture. The picture of him, at least, he said, that's old Loomis. This is new Loomis.
Yeah, the tan trench coat to the black trench coat.
What does it matter, dude?
He even went goth.
He switched from tan to black. He had to. Everything in this movie switched from tan to black.
Peacoat made by Alice Cooper.
And she's working it like the
Spencer's.
Yeah, like,
is a
it's like
rough and rowdy store.
It's like the
Lexington.
Spencer's of record
Haddonfield?
stores.
Yeah.
It's like old VHSs and records and.
Look, if I was a woman, I'm not allowing a man with a white beard call me babe.
You would if you were goth now. Come on, Miguel.
No.
You would if you slept with Charles Manson above your bed.
Fuck the man. Is that Charles Manson on a toilet?
I don't know. But there's literally a picture of a
is.
dude shitting above the desk. If you walk into a record store and there's some dude literally taking a crap above where you pay, I feel like that's a red flag. That's like, nope, I'm out.
No, I feel like I'm going to get the most rarest Alice Cooper album ever.
Even these two characters, though, I didn't care about them. Like, at no point, when they died, I was just like, oh, okay. Like, there was no... We didn't get enough of Danielle Harris. Like, Danielle Harris is a good actress. Like, I really liked what she did with Annie. Why couldn't we get more of Danielle Harris and less of these two randoms that we didn't even have any kind of emotional attachment to? Other than they want her to drink and party and get laid and do cool goth stuff like goth, man, and rock and roll. Like, it just, I don't get it. I really don't, man.
Look, man, some characters in horror movies are just there to be meat fod, or, they're just there to be put in the grinder. Ew. Ew. Ew.
I'm getting angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Don't get mad.
Dr. Sam Loomis.
Ooh.
And welcome.
Bro, my man looks like a fresh, clean Q-tip.
Do you feel personally responsible for the deaths of as many as 15 victims?
Okay, CNN, calm the fuck down.
He starts doing the Trump thing. That was a stupid question. Next.
Next. Remember, you are the media, so therefore you are wrong.
Just awful. I was very nearly a victim myself. I'm not a psychic Sherlock Holmes place.
Those are three very opposing characters in a franchise.
Will he kill again?
Here I go again on my own.
And sparkling clear. Michael Myers is fucking dead. Now you brain dead gossip mongers want me to spell that out for you? D-E-A-D.
Bro, it looks like a superhero origin right here. Like, can you
It
imagine?
really does.
Yeah.
See, if they would have done the hobo, like, I didn't mind the Hobo Myers thing. I didn't even mind him with the hood and stuff. Like, that was cool. But A, you ripped half the mask off, and B, you had. Let me reorganize these.
Okay,
A,
but,
Sherry Moon Zombie just needed to.
Look,
I'm sorry,
man.
she needed to be completely cut. B,
I understand this,
you
though.
ripped half the mask off, and C, you showed his face too much. You literally, like, at least with James Jude Courtney in the new trilogy, at least it was just like you kind of saw glimpses of his burned face throughout. Like, especially in Kills where you see him, like, turn around and you can see him from the back and his hair and stuff. But, like, you literally get full-on facial shots of Tyler Mane in this film.
Yeah.
You literally see his entire face.
Okay, but you gotta admit, there's some really cool shots in this movie.
I mean, do you like this stuff? This is weird.
No, I'm talking about Sherry Moon just walking to the fucking farm in the foggy night. That was a pretty dope scene.
It's cool looking, but when you think about what it is, it's stupid. Doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, true. You call her daddy? Bro, why does that guy always gotta play like a sloppy bum? He really does.
Rosalia said, I went through a goth phase. The Cure and Doc Martens. Dude, 100%. I did too. I wore black jeans and I had the red bandana hanging out of my back pocket like Billy Joe Armstrong. And, like, I went through that as well. But
Look,
this is
Rosalia.
just, like, the decision to do that in this film was very, very strange.
Yeah. Look, Doc Martens are no longer goth. Those are called those are retro now.
They are.
Apparently. Didn't know that.
I will say I did like the way this was shot, where you just see the silhouette, like the shape, like you just see the shape of him, and like the dudes are coming up behind him. Like, that was cool. I enjoyed this.
Mm-hmm.
It was a cool scene. And we see Tyler Mane's Michael vulnerable for a second, which is something that we don't typically see. You know what I mean? He's usually just like a hulking force, but to see him injured was kind of interesting.
Bro, why these people just like drove up to him and just decided to choose violence? Like, good lord.
I think he said something like they've seen him on their land before or whatever, but
Oh, I don't know. I think they were just like fucking around. They said, you know what? I'm gonna choose war crimes.
they woke up and chose violence.
Yeah.
At least they're not like Sartain and they didn't just immediately run him over with the car.
I feel like that would end the movie really quick.
It would have. I don't know, dude. He did take a bullet to the temple and somehow survive.
That is very true. Get in the Shagmobile. Bro, you can see Mars with these fucking strobe lights. Good
I know,
God, this
right?
shit's bright.
I also like how he puts on the mask, too.
Like, he was like, you know what? I'm gonna choose violence.
I know, right? Like, that was kind of cool. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. I love how they just don't notice the man. Chee-hoo.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, full circle irony. You killed the deer, and now the deer killed you.
Whew.
He said, refreshing.
I don't like that the hair looks like he's the dude from
He started
Counting
seizing.
Crows in like the late 90s. Like
Yeah.
the
yeah.
hair is very like whoa. It's like Afro Myers. It's
Well, it's
weird.
been busy sitting in a fucking trench coat for about a year, so.
Yeah.
He's not like you, Brad. He doesn't comb the mask constantly.
I do not comb the masks.
I don't like the grunting. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't like it either. It's strange. I think it
Yeah.
would have been more effective if. I also didn't like this. Again, stuff we don't need to see. Also, I feel like that is not at all something that Michael would have done.
That's true. Bro, tell me why Brackett looks like Sartain for a hot minute. I was like, ugh.
So did he get the meatless pizza? Because I saw pineapple and I saw like sausage and pepperoni.
Pineapple's not a meat.
I'm aware.
Hey, question: pineapple on pizza? Yay or nay?
Nay.
Eat a dick.
I'm gonna say nay. As an Italian dude, I feel like I have to say no.
Okay, that's fair. Good thing it's called a Hawaiian pizza, not Italian pizza. Who?
Do we have to do this every fucking time we eat together? We need to get you because it's not gonna happen.
I like how Brackett is just trying to convince them to not be vegetarians.
Yeah. I love like the parallels between like every man needs to be a caveman, and then you have fucking Michael eating a dog.
I don't. I think it's stupid.
Every father perfects the art of humiliating their offspring. That is cute.
It's just stuff we don't need to ever see Michael do. Like
What? Eat a dog?
when Loomis and Brackett find the dog in the Myers house in the '78 film, it's effective because here we go with the psychic connection crap.
Oh, she's throwing up 'cause he's eating a
Bracket's
dog.
like, is she preggo? Is she pregnant?
That's
she
funny.
preggo?
That's funny. I feel like Brackett really would be thinking that right now. Brackett's low key like vote yes to Amendment 2. Kidding.
Oh, that was a dark joke.
This is a dark movie.
I'm just
Welcome,
gonna pretend
boys.
that you're not wrong. I would just pretend that you didn't go there. See,
Bro, we literally
What?
just watched a man eat a fucking dog. This is how dark we're gonna go. We're
honestly,
gonna go fucking
you know
dark.
what? I don't mind seeing him sit there. That's interesting. I honestly don't mind that.
But then you like this? When I was a young boy, my father took me into the city to see a marching band. She said, "Son, when you grow up, will
But
you
this is-
be the killer of my city?"
Like, what is that? What does that mean?
Bro, that's some shit.
The hell is she marrying her kid? Like, what's the point? None of this makes any sense. This could have been completely eliminated from the movie, and I would have been
season-
200% fine.
Season of the Witch.
But it doesn't even look like the Season of the Witch Mass.
Who the fuck is Boo?
And they're sitting there eating Lori? Like, I don't...
Oh my god. I
he
didn't even
made-
see Lori.
he may have been trying to do something artistic with it, and I can appreciate that, but it doesn't make sense to me. Like, if somebody understands what all of the black and white Sherry Moon and the black, like, wedding dress and Lori laying on the table and the weird pumpkin dudes that are sitting there eating it, like, I just don't understand what it means. It would have been more effective in my eyes if you would have just had Michael, like, seeing Michael sit there, you know, he could have had his knees up, just sitting there, like, staring off into the distance, like, just off into the woods in the barn, like, just sitting there, you know, like the same kind of thing when Corey goes into the cave and Halloween Ends, not to make this about Halloween Ends, but when Corey goes into the cave and Michael is literally just standing there, and then he just kind of looks up at him, like, it could have been the same kind of thing, like, literally just, I don't know.
So wait, did he leave?
Who?
Did he leave Haddonfield?
Loomis?
Yeah, like he left Haddonfield.
I guess. He's probably on his cross-country book tour.
Jesus. I'm 42% on Rotten Tomatoes.
The sizzle, not the steak. Like, what does that even mean, dude? What the hell are you talking about?
Hey, you probably should turn down your volume. Then again, that was Loomis talking about yelling about a steak, so I mean... Bro, if I was Brackett, I would be furious with the writings on the wall. I'd be like, bro, my property value is already in the shitter.
You're going to
And you
repaint
go
this
ahead
bathroom
and
right now.
Right on the wall with a fucking Sharpie? Get out of my face.
We already live in a town with a terrible history. Like,
Yeah.
Like, but she's got Jesus on the wall, but she's got her Alice Cooper picture. She's got wipe spray painted above the toilet. Like, what? I just don't get it. I don't. Like, I don't understand what he was trying to do with it. And the whole psychic connection thing, that's a whole other, like, that's a whole other thing. Like, making Lori the killer and to think that Rob Zombie's Halloween 3 would have, like, explored this. It would have explored... It literally had Michael and Lori on the run together. And Lori being like, I love you, Michael, but I don't. I love you, but I don't. I'm not you, but I... You know, it would have explored that. And that's just dumb to me. And the upside down crosses, and it just... What kind of movie are you... Like, what kind of story are you trying to tell? If you have epilepsy, apparently don't watch this movie.
Holy shit. That beat Corey's seizure in the club by far.
Everybody down in the club.
Everybody down in the club.
That's pretty funny. I like seeing Lori be Lori. I don't want to see Lori be Michael. That's not... It makes Michael less
You think that's
evil.
being Lori?
Yeah, she's playful. You know what I mean? Playful, sweet kid
I
Lori.
never once seen Lori be playful. Not in the original.
What?
No. The most she did was smoke weed.
I'll tell you, the arc I did like though. I did like Brackett being pissed because he was pissed at Loomis in this film. I mean, he loathed Loomis for making like a mockery of everything that happened.
Okay, so did the wreck really happen?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Elephant Man's bones. Like, I don't know. I guess you could argue that Loomis was like, okay, my life is already ruined. At least I'm going to get something out of this experience. You know what I mean? At least I'm going to get some fame and money out of it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, though, Loomis genuinely cared. Malcolm McDowell's Loomis cared about Michael way more than Donald Pleasance's Loomis did in the original. Donald Pleasance's Loomis literally just wanted him dead. That was it.
Yeah.
He just wanted to kill him. Malcolm McDowell's Loomis wanted to help him. He legitimately wanted to help him. He cared about Michael. He cared about saving Laurie and, like, saving people. Like, Loomis really was the hero. Or at least he tried to be in the first film. Which is why it doesn't make sense that Loomis is like, you know, all like, oh, the sheriff's department failed and this big elephant man. I don't get it. It's not a natural progression for his character arc, to me. Again, someone else might disagree. But
It's like, why did this strip club have to happen?
exactly. This is pretty much a waste of time. It's just to get kills. That's all it is. It's just to get a couple of kills.
You could have got kills at a regular old trailer house or something like that, but why did it have to be a strip club?
Because it's a Rob Zombie movie.
That's true.
Of course it had to be a strip club. Yeah, Jaded, you're not wrong. He said, I don't know, this Loomis has the feel of a Fox News contributor or something. Yeah, you can't... Rosalie, you're exactly right. You can't compare with drunk Loomis. I mean, even drunk babbling Loomis would have been much better than I'm a prick Loomis who just wants to make money and, you know... J-Dad said Rob Zombie was going for shock, not substance. And that might be true. And if that's true, yeah, violence, not atmosphere. If that's true, then so be it. He achieved it. Because so many things just make you go like, huh? Like, what?
Bro, are his teeth neon? That shit's shining through the fucking night.
I know, right? But once again, there's Tyler Maine's face as clear as day. Literally as clear as possible.
Oh, I can't see it. My TV's trash.
Oh, a minute ago, you could see his eyes pretty much as clearly as you could see this dude's eyes.
Bro, you gotta appreciate the man's stash. I always appreciate the stash game, gentlemen.
The dude just called Michael Myers a dirty, filthy hippie. This dude is the Busta Rhymes of Rob Zombie's H2. Except this is what should have happened when Busta Rhymes like bitched him out in Resurrection.
Yeah, but Busta Rhymes was promoting an album, so he couldn't die.
Oh.
You gotta admit, I know I said I hated the sound of Michael grunting, but at least he has the decency to breathe. Because when you breathe, you exert more power in your...
And what she do? She's like...
Yeah, you saw that?
Oh, I was like, oh.
That face was hella sus.
What? Who does like?
Look, man, when you're in a long marriage,
That's a cool shot of Michael though.
yeah, fucking while there's a fucking stripping right there.
He's like, I just wanted to watch.
He said, "You see this hole right here?
He should have just shot. Oh,
Good God, that's a hard
Ooh.
death."
Wow.
I mean, you gotta admire Michael's love for the theatrics.
Oh.
Why'd you let the guy run though? That's the question.
I don't know. I mean, I think he's just playing with his victims. I mean, I think that's all he's doing. You know?
This isn't Michael playing. This is him acting on the words of his mother.
Fair. Here we go. Oh, there's the mask rip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are we going for a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Stupid.
It's Sabretooth.
Could you imagine if he jumped out and was like, and did like the roar, like the Sabretooth roar, and then Hugh Jackman's Wolverine came and fought him in that same moment? That'd be
Yeah.
great.
I didn't like the fact that he like switched the lights to like open to close.
Yeah. It's also, have you noticed that with the cinematography, anytime it's daytime, it's got like a grayish tint to it? Like it's not like the picture isn't quite as like, it's not quite as saturated as it could be.
Yeah. I'm glad out of everything in this movie, Henry at least survived, because that was the cutest fucking pig I've ever seen in my life.
Jaded said Michael is an artist when it comes to posing corpses. Very doll-inspired.
He mentioned,
Rosalia
like,
said
the
she's
brother
seen
and
those
sister.
kind of people on an episode of Cops.
Mm.
New ringtone, Miguel's rendition of Black Parade. I might crop that and make it a TikTok or something. We'll see. You never know. And this was kind of interesting too, because Brackett's, he's like, you got to play your cards very right. Like, he would rather Lori hear it from him than read it in the book or hear it from somebody else, because he knows that it's going to cause her to spiral as soon as she knows that her and Michael are brother and sister, you know? And it was interesting seeing her spiral after that. Like, that was interesting.
I'm not gonna lie, at her age, I didn't have the money to buy a new book.
In your early 20s?
Is she in her 20s? She's not in her 20s. She's in high school.
At night. She's not in high school anymore.
She's in high school. It's 1 year later.
Not anymore, dude. I want to say it's 2 years later.
No, I think it was 1. People in the comments, let me know.
I don't know. I think it's 2 years later.
Bro, to add that probably would have been like $70 if you
I know,
would have
right?
got that with Robert
Yeah.
Englund.
Yeah, we were at Scarefest, and Robert Englund was charging $160 for an autograph, and I think it was like an extra $20 to get it personalized to you. Like, it was like a lot.
Excessively expensive. Which, I mean, look, guys, props to you. If you guys like the autograph stuff, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
But for me and the way my bank account is set up, I have a savings and a checkings, and I got to get my savings to my checkings, and it takes about 7 to 6 business days, so can't really do that.
This was interesting too. I liked this moment a lot. This is one of my favorite moments in the film.
Good God. Hey, don't talk about Henry like that. No wonder he's losing his shit because he's wearing the Loomis jacket. Oh shit.
Yeah. Well, that was I liked that because it was a very raw moment. It was a very raw moment that connected you to what happened in the first film. Like, because that was something that we're not seeing from Loomis. Obviously, that had to come somewhere. The reality check of, like, you know, yes, he's profiting off of what happened, but, like, I don't know. But it's also, like, I don't know. Yes, you're crossing the line, dude. Yes, you are.
Does she die? I feel like she does.
I don't think so. I think she makes it.
No?
And the fact that she just said you're toying with people's lives, and then we go from seeing Linda's dad and his grief and, like, what happened to him and how it's destroyed his life, to then to Lori and how it's obviously now it's like she already thought, like, she thought she was already at rock bottom with her, like, journey to, like, recovery and to, like, not recovery, but, like, to I don't know, her journey from PTSD and trauma, as Jamie Lee Curtis would put it. But, like, now it's, like, the bottom, like, she thought she was at rock bottom, and now the bottom has collapsed. You know?
Yeah.
Like...
Which, by the way, Loomis is an asshole for including that literally within, like, the first chapter. Because Lori did not finish that book at the end. That was literally within, like, page 7. And Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And Annie really didn't know.
Mm-hmm. Is Angel a nickname?
Angel was her name.
Oh.
Yeah, Angel was her name. Lori was her adopted name. And you gotta think, Brackett was really trying to help her. You know what I mean? He just didn't want her to know. He wanted her to be able to move on and try to live her life.
Does he have, like, a sense like Michael's going to be coming back?
I don't know. I just think he knows that it's hit the fan since she found out. And I think he's worried about her and what she's going to do, or I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jada, the timeline is vague for Rob Zombie's Halloween films, either 1 or 2 years. Yeah, I think it's 2. That'd be my guess. Even in the first film, it never really gives us, like, it just says October 31st. It's vague with what decade or what time it actually, like, takes place at, you know?
I hate that moment.
It's sick, huh? I know you're crying and you look really upset, but...
No, because you're crying and being hysterical, bit.
Listen, to be in fairness though, she is reacting. I think
She is really.
she's reacting as I think how anybody would react if you realized that who you thought was your parents wasn't really your parents, and the people you've been living with and loved were lying to. Basically, your entire life is a lie, and you're some awful PTSD victim. Like,
Angel Myers is very life.
That's rough. Bro, no. That shit was published and printed over 100,000 times and sold in all 50 states. Hey.
and welcome to Talking Dead.
Yeah. Good old Weird Al. I want you to know right now, Weird Al Yankovic probably got like, I don't know, a couple thousand for this fucking scene.
I don't understand why is Weird Al there.
You need a famous person, and nobody was available.
Chris Hardwick is a famous person.
I'd say he's probably like B-list.
I mean, like, Weird Al made a mockery of Dr. Loomis. Like, come
Yeah.
on. That's the equivalent of Busta Rhymes telling off Michael and Michael turning around and walking away. That's the exact equivalent of what happened here. This is just the Loomis version of that.
She said, he said, yeah, I feel bad for you, but
He said, I've never been more humiliated in all my life. Good night. Thank you so much.
oh man, that's fucking hilarious.
That's a cool shot. I like that. The kid's trick-or-treating and passing by him as he's walking by. That's cool.
I don't like the fact that he's just carrying the mask like on his side like a fucking holster.
I know, right? He takes it out and spins it around and then puts it on.
Yeah.
That's a cool shot. That's a creepy shot.
R.I.P. Andre the Giant. Bro,
That is
kids,
a creepy shot. Look at his
Kids.
eyes. His eyes look like he's
protect your
glowing.
kids. Protect your kids.
His
Because that shit
eyes
right there is
legit-
real.
His eyes looked like they were glowing in that shot. That's very Halloween 3 vibes. Like, that's cool looking. I really dig that shot. But that's the thing. I don't know if Bretman is still here, but that's the thing about this film is that in a vacuum, if you just look at individual pieces of this movie, there are some things that are so unbelievably good, but there are things that are just so unbelievably bad and strange about it too. Like, it's not that it's well done or that it's not well done. Like I said, the cinematography, the aesthetic, the vibe, all of that stuff is great. It's just
At least Four Eyes over here at least feels some sort of sympathy.
out of the two of them, I liked her the best. Like out of the new friends that somehow matter when we don't really get any explanation.
Yeah.
And why is it that Lori is like, now I just want to go party and get drunk. That's all I want to do. I just want to go get drunk now.
Trauma.
Jamie Lee Curtis would say it's all that trauma. It's all that trauma she's endured. That Pennsylvania terror train, or whatever he says. I don't remember exactly what.
Golly.
This paratrain, this Pennsylvania terror train, do-go-do-go-do-do-do.
Bro, is this Haddonfield? Like, fuck, Haddonfield lit as fuck. The gumballs. Is she talking about the lights?
Yeah.
That's funny.
What is her Halloween costume? The chick on the right.
Just to be naked, I guess.
What is that? What are you? Explain.
Bro, they're literally just dancers. Like, there's dancers and there's people that are dressed up like him. Like, that's dressed like horror Rocky
So
Picture
she's basically a stripper?
Bro, it's Rob Zombie.
That's the answer to everything. It's Rob Zombie,
Yeah.
dude. That doesn't make sense. Well, it's okay. It's Rob Zombie. This thing had a $15,000 budget.
How much?
Let's see, 15,000.
That ain't much.
Yeah, it's not. Let's see. Halloween 2 on Rotten Tomatoes has a 23%. Whew.
Good God. Oh no. Oh no.
What is this van? It's got to be close to the 70s because it's everybody is very hippie-ish. It's like a weird... Yeah?
This is not 70s.
You don't think?
No.
It is very ambiguous about what time period it is, though. I mean, do you think 80s?
No.
Do you think 90s? Like, what do you think?
No. This is within the same... This is whenever the movie was made.
Like, late 2000s?
Yeah?
This was 2009. This came out in August of 2009.
Yeah, this is made in 2009. Like, this
Bro,
is the time period.
He literally was on top of her kissing her and then said, I gotta pee, I'll be right back. Like, what?
Bro, is that... What's his name from Nightmare on Elm Street 2?
Jesse?
Yeah, that's Jesse. Yeah.
Homeboy has a mattress in his van.
Hey, it's the cheapest rent you could ever think of. All it is gas.
That's fair. It's a very fair point.
Bro.
Dude
Quick.
came out of literal nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, actual nowhere. He
Yeah.
just, like, literally just appeared.
Moral of the story, prioritize your women, gentlemen. Otherwise you won't die.
Let's talk about this, though, because this is the closest Michael and Laurie have been. Michael is at this party. He's there right now.
Yeah.
Like, unbeknownst to him, that Laurie is literally dancing probably less than a mile away. While this is on IMDb, while writing Sam Loomis for the sequel, Rob Zombie based his egotistical and self-absorbed personality on Dr. Phil
Sean
and his
Hanley.
talk show. Based him on Dr. Phil. That's a
Damn.
very strange idea.
Of all the talk show people, you choose Dr. Phil?
I know. You know, you could say, though, that it is kind of interesting. Like, I have to admit, it is interesting to see Loomis realize that this whole book campaign and trying to get famous and trying to be, you know, Mr. Cool, Mr. Suave, like the James Bond of authors, like, is not working. Like, that's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to see that dream imploding upon itself, because it goes to, like he's starting to second guess, like, is this wrong? Like, should I have never done this? You know? Which, it is wrong. He shouldn't have done it, you know?
Bro, I think she got roofied.
it's one thing to write a book about his. It's one thing to write a book about your experience with something because he's technically a survivor, but it's a whole other thing to. Here we go. But it's a whole other thing to.
Dead in his tracks. Stopped him dead in his tracks.
It really did. But like it's snowing and it's like why? Like I don't understand. I'm your number one fan. What's the movie timeline? If you're asking where we're at, for me, I am almost an hour and 12 minutes in. This is at the point where Laurie just had the, like the vision at the party, and they're walking her away from the dance right now.
She just had a fucking like spaz attack, and all of a sudden she's laughing.
That doesn't make any sense.
Drop zombie.
Make it make sense, dude. I mean, she's very obviously drunk, you know.
Yeah.
You know what's strange though is Michael leaves the party where
Goes
he's
to
with
Annie.
like he doesn't know that he's with Laurie, but he leaves the party, goes to Brackett's house.
What about that psychic connection, dog? Huh?
Okay, if there's a
Wow.
psychic connection, he should have known where Laurie was. Why would he go
Exactly.
all the way? Who knows where Brackett's house is? It looks like it's kind of out of town, you know?
Yeah.
Like this, it doesn't. That's something that doesn't make any sense. Like, I mean, I understand if you
Laurie?
would have had to naturally, like, if you would have had to naturally find a way to get Michael and Laurie together, like that's one thing. But it's weird that it's like, okay, Michael showed up at the same party Laurie's at, and then suddenly, okay, he's gone. Never mind. Like, that doesn't make any sense. This
Yeah.
is a bad one right here. Wait for it. Oof.
Kind of cool though.
It was cool. Very reminiscent of how Michael kills Ray in 2018.
Yeah.
Where he steps out, like, when Ray opens the cop car door and the two cops are dead in there, and he just, like, walks out from the woods and, like, puts the like, bells around him or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then Laurie cocks the shotgun and goes downstairs. That was a great scene. I will say her death was... It was rough.
Sad.
Her death and seeing Brad Dourif's reaction to her death was the most emotional part of the entire movie. It was. This was the emotional anchor at this point. Like, at this point, I cared about none of the characters, including Laurie. By the end of the movie, the only character I actually care about is Brackett.
You kind of just accept this. And it's slow motion too. Damn.
I know. It's rough, man. It's rough. And we don't see it, which is an interesting creative choice. Like, I kind of almost appreciate that it's mostly off screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But then but Rob Zombie's happily to show a stripper die and a coroner die, like literally get his head ripped off.
Yeah, but at least this tells me that he did have some kind of understanding that Annie's death meant something. Annie's death was a very big anchor point to the film. Like, I feel like that goes to show that it did matter, obviously.
No,
Yeah.
I feel like Rob Zombie probably just didn't want to kill kids. Bro, that was cool.
That's a cool shot. That was a neat shot. I don't think that shot's in the unrated cut.
I don't think it is. Did we see the unrated? Was that my first time?
I believe so. I believe
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure our first commentary, I'll have to go back and look, but I think our first commentary was the unrated version.
I gotcha.
I hate
Get him,
that line.
cuz.
I hate that's just as bad as go get him, cuz. Or do your thing, cuz, or whatever. Dude, that bathroom is wrecked.
Oh, I thought it would just left as normal as it is.
That bathroom is jacked. This was cool too. Not this, but her when the weird friend runs outside.
There's a girl. She's upstairs. She's, I don't know. She's dead, but there's blood everywhere.
And this is a
Dang,
whole other
she's even
thing.
like,
This is a whole other. I'm not mad that Annie died, but nobody wins here. No, there's nobody to root for except for Brackett.
you're not supposed to root for anybody.
But why? Then what's the point?
It's Rob Zombie. Good God.
Yeah, Jada, it was a very hard death to watch. It really was.
This one?
Yeah. Art said this was Brackett's movie for sure. Rob wanted it that way. I agree. I think it is. I do. I think the only emotional anchors in this entire film were Annie and Brackett. That was it. I didn't feel, and it's nothing against Scout Taylor Compton. I really, really like Scout Taylor Compton, a lot. But
Bro, that would have been the first thing out of my mouth. Not that anticipation bullshit.
I know, right? I like that they have a podcast together. I think that's cool, and that they're like such good friends.
Yeah.
It was a hard death. It was. It was tough. And Danielle Harris knocked it out of the park. She did a great job.
Some shit, dog.
Because, even as a Halloween fan, you're also sitting there thinking, like, obviously it's a different timeline and she's playing a completely different character, but, like, you're looking at it, and even when you see the picture of her young, like, you're looking at it and you're like, that's Annie's death, but, like, that's Jamie. That's little Jamie from 4 and 5. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, Halloween fans, like, that's a very tough death to watch. It is. It's a very emotional moment. And seeing Brackett find out is so much worse.
Jamie's first kill was in the tub. And her final death was in a tub.
He said, I hate this door. I hate what you've done with the door. I don't like it. This was very Texas Chainsaw ish. This
Yeah, I'd
especially.
agree.
This is
Yeah.
very, very reminiscent of. I don't think it was a nod to it, but very reminiscent of what happened in TCM when Leatherface is chasing Sally through the woods. He's such a good actor. He's such a good underrated actor. This moment, man.
Bro, Michael really did have some fun. Fucking hell, man.
What a heavy, heavy moment. This is one of the heaviest moments in the entire franchise.
This shit hit harder than Karen's death.
Oh, Karen's death was nothing compared to this. Nothing. It's one of the things that I have to say Rob Zombie nailed it. With a really emotional, anchored moment, he nailed it with her death. And Brad Dourif and Danielle Harris nailed it as well. I mean, Danielle Harris made it emotional. She was trying to fight, but she couldn't. And seeing Brad Dourif's bracket just completely collapse, like that was a really good moment, man. And it's unfortunate that it's spoiled by seeing Michael and drunk Lori chase each other in circles around the forest.
That's true. Guys, don't forget, she drunk as shit right now.
She really is. Now, I think the adrenaline probably kicked in by this point, so it's probably starting to fade, but, you know.
Nah, drunk is drunk.
It's Rob Zombie.
Rob Zombie.
Oh, crap. I forget. Homeboy literally flips over a car in this one.
Yeah.
Dude goes straight up like Terminator in this film.
James Hugh Courtney jumped so he can flip a car.
Fair. What, him jumping up on the SUV?
Yeah. Everybody is emo.
I know, right? That's an 80s, 90s car, right?
People drive 80s and 90s cars nowadays.
I don't think this is set in the 2000s, dude. I don't.
I'd say this is because that's a 90s version. That's a 90s model.
I mean, based
VW.
on the music choices, I don't think it is.
There was dark screamo emo in 2000s.
I'll tell you, I root for this guy. This guy was genuinely just trying to be a nice dude.
Yeah, Corey. Yeah, I rooted for him.
We don't know who he was, but he was just trying to be a good dude. He didn't want to hurt anybody. He wasn't some nasty dude like that was all into punk rock and like, you know, he was a good dude. Ugh.
See, I don't consider that a feat because a Golf is fairly light. It's not the heaviest car out there.
I wonder how they did that. Like, did Tyler Mane really? There's no way. No way. I mean, Tyler Mane's a big dude, but that's.
I don't know. It could be done.
I don't know. That's on the verge. Even for this iteration of Michael, that's on the verge of Supernatural.
You know, one thing that I totally forgot. We're only 20 minutes left in this movie. How did Loomis find out? And
he sees it on the news that the cops have Michael surrounded and that they've found him.
I gotcha.
And, you know, you could have had the ending of this, even if you would have done this whole Halloween Kills style rampage, from the hospital, you could have done the same kind of... You could have ended in the shack with him surrounded. You could have done a lot of the same... You could have had a lot of the same elements. But...
I understand. I understand Brackett's response.
He said, "I think maybe you should drive."
No. Brackett literally was just like, okay. It's like, golly, man. You were
Dude
literally
just found
done.
his daughter literally butchered upstairs. Like
Yeah.
that's rough.
Like,
I mean-
you life over.
I just don't like it, man. Art said I had a nightmare way before 2018 where I'm stuck in traffic and the shape jumps into the hood of my car, smashes my windshield, and drags me out. Dude, that's a terrible nightmare. That's kind of scary. See, this was cool. The visual of the helicopter and seeing the cops surrounding the shack, like, that was neat. I enjoyed that, actually. But the circumstances with Sherry Moon and baby Michael, and it was strange. Didn't make any sense to me. That's a cool shot. I like that shot. Yeah, this is how Loomis finds out.
Gotcha. Sipping that red wine.
J-Dead, whatever, man. He's sipping a $200 bottle of wine.
Probably. He's got to use that book fund somehow. Bro, what a holdup. Only 3 cops behind a car? Gee, oh, there you go. That got better.
I will say, it wasn't a full redemption, but... It was not a full redemption, but at least Loomis... It felt like in the last... I mean, it was too little too late, but at least it felt like, okay, Loomis is going to try to be the hero again. He's going to try to do right. Like, I do like it when he looks at Brackett and he says, I owe you this. Like, I owe you this, you know. I think that's cool. I like that line. Whack! He says, get up. It's like he snapped out of it, and it's like, this is the Loomis I wanted. This is the Loomis I've wanted for the last hour and 25 minutes. And, like, it's too late.
Michael's never going to respond to hostage negotiations. Listen, I can go now. I need to do this. Please let me get the fuck out of here. All right, all right. I can walk him.
And it was so Loomis what he does here. You know what I mean? Like, it just...
See, it's Rob Zombie Loomis with the black trench coat.
Yeah. I also do like that Loomis walks in like he owns the place, and he's like, you need to stop. Like, you know what I mean?
Michael is low-key like, God damn it, it's Dad.
I know, right? He's like,
Yeah.
oh, Michael's like, I knew you would show up. I knew you'd be here at some point. I don't need you anymore, Dad.
That right there, pretty cool.
What, the cutting back and forth?
Yeah, like, Lori thinks she's being held down, but it's actually her just having a seizure at this point.
I don't know why he didn't do what he said he was going to do and just try to draw Michael out.
That's a knife. Loomis is low-key like, damn, deja vu.
He could have just tried to draw Michael out of the shack, and then they could have blasted him. Listen, Loomis draws Michael out of the shack, ducks. They open fire and shoot him. More than enough. And then that's it. Roll credits. And then Loomis becomes her psychiatrist and helps her. That could have been it. That could have been the happy ending. But no. Nobody wins in the end. He grunted twice just now. I want you to know that. He went, and then fell backwards.
Okay, you get shot by a rifle and see if you don't grunt. Jesus.
Yeah, that's a heavy duty rifle too. Rosalia said, "What will we watch after this month?" Oh, we'll have plenty to watch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll have a bunch of stuff to watch. Jaded said maybe it was to show Loomis was a good guy deep down. Fame and money had corrupted him at first. I can accept that. I can accept what he was trying to do with that character. I get it.
I'll be honest, I don't like this part.
Nope, me either. Hate it. I love you, Michael. Shut up. Dude just literally killed everybody you loved. And is about to still try to kill you. You literally don't know what you're talking about.
What a calm death.
And I hate that his arm goes down like it's a hug. So dumb.
Yeah.
Dude, she's stabbing him in the face.
Yeah.
Wow. Whew.
Well, you can't put that mask on now.
It just I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't get the creative decision behind her putting on the mask. Did she really go crazy? Is she really the next Michael? Or is she just trying to, in that moment, is she just trying to understand why? Why he did that. You know what I mean?
She's trying to face her fears.
There's any kind of Halloween music, the first we've gotten in the entire thing.
That's true.
Might I remind you, we literally have not heard the ba-da-da-ba-da-da-ba-da-ba. We have not heard it one time. Not one single time. I also didn't like this ending. You could have, I think, a more effective ending, even if you're going to do even if she put on the mask and she threw it down at the end. If she walked out with it and you were like, what the what is she doing? And she just walked out and took it off and looked at it and threw it on the ground and started crying. And Brackett ran over and hugged her and was like, it's going to be okay, it's going to be okay. And
sometimes
that was the
I
ending.
get the feeling she's watching over me.
that could have been such a better ending. Like, at least it would have been a happy ending for Laurie. But when you do this, it's just like, what? Like, what? What?
Bro, she low-key does look like young Michael right here.
Whatever. I don't know, man. It's not a direction I would have taken it. There's the first time we hear the music at the credits. That's it.
Bro, I'm gonna need you to calm down.
It just makes me so mad. It's
Just a
still
movie.
it's still the no, I'm kidding. It's still the biggest disappointment in the franchise for me. I wondered if that would change if because I did have a lot of hopes going into Halloween Kills. And while Halloween Kills disappointed me in some regards, this is still the biggest disappointment for me because this could have been Rob Zombie's masterpiece. I mean, this could have literally been his best film. This could have been one of the coolest, most unique entries in the entire franchise. And he went for something crazy. I want to do a video again. I have so many Halloween videos that I want to do, and part of me wants to save them for next October, and part of me is like, no, I just want to go for it and do it. But I just want to. I want to make a video about like how this could have been different, like what I would have liked to see, like. Again, I would have. I really think it would have made sense to see Laurie. Even if she walks out of the hut with the mask on, and she just takes it off and looks at it, and she's just like, I don't get it. Like she was trying to find some kind of understanding as to why, and like when she put the mask on, maybe she thought like I don't know. I mean, again, it's a thought when you're in shock of what just happened. But nobody wins at the end of this movie. Like, Brackett lost, Michael lost, Loomis lost, Laurie lost, Annie lost. Nobody won at the end of this. And I don't know, some people might like that, but it's not for me.
Look, man. All I can say is this was a Rob Zombie film. That's all I can say. Look,
Art said, Miguel, will you say something, please?
Bro, you were on your fucking tangent right there, my man.
I was,
Look,
dude. It's such a disappointment for me.
Are you sure that you dislike Resurrection like the most? Yeah,
Yes.
it sounds like Rob Zombie 2 is like definitely like up there. Like if not like
No.
matching.
I don't
know.
I'm still.
I don't know, man. I haven't seen this much disdain. You didn't even have this much disdain in our first commentary. That says something. That says you held back a lot in the first time we did a commentary.
I don't know. It just
Yeah.
I don't know. I still think I don't know. There's nothing I like about Resurrection. There are things that I at least really like about this. Like I said, when this is good, it is damn good. But when this is weird and strange, it's an acid trip of a movie. It really is.
Look. That's you explained it perfectly. It's an acid trip of a movie, without a doubt. For those of you that love this movie so much, I understand why you do. Because it really is just an acid trip of a movie. You literally pick one of the most influential horror icon ever and literally just gave it a complete acid trip. And that's the best way I could explain this movie in all regards. Now, my two thoughts on on the ending.
Now that I've shut up.
Yeah. At the ending, I felt that as if with her ending, like with her succumbing to the evil, that's always something that is being said in this franchise.
Evil doesn't die, it
Whereas-
just changes shape.
Pretty much, like everyone's losing their shit with how Laurie stated it and kills, but that's always the theme of it in this franchise is if Michael dies, who's gonna who's going to be the next massive killer. You know what I mean? Like every
Yeah.
single time. That happened with Jamie, that happened with Corey, that happened with Lori, and I think I don't know, probably didn't happen. Did it happen to Lori's son in Resurrection? No, it didn't. But but again, look, the idea of it transferring to someone or it corrupting someone else has always been like a thing that happens in this franchise that people always try to attempt.
Right.
And I can commend Rob Zombie for trying that.
Well, I do too.
Because
yeah.
they tried it, because they've tried it pretty much in the original cinematic timeline. They tried it in the Blumhouse trilogy, and they tried it in the Rob Zombie trilogy. It's almost as if like once you get the reins to the Halloween franchise, you almost have to try to do it. You almost have to try to bring this up at this. You almost have to try to attempt this storyline of the transference of evil.
Yeah.
And in regards to Rob Zombie trying it, my man really shot for the fences. And it's nothing compared to, well, it compares to none of the other type of tries that they've done. And all I can say is I agree with Art. This movie is just what it is. It's unique. It's all sorts of genre rolled up in one. It's gorefest. It's emo. It's gothic. It's pretty fucking raw too. So I wouldn't say this is low on my scale, at least I would say, but it's not that low. It's kind of in the middle for me. I'll be honest, because at least with like
of the franchise,
kind of like bottom middle, I would say, because there's a lot of movies. You got to be honest, man. There's a lot of movies.
13. No, 4.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. H2O Resurrection. 1, 2. Yeah, 13. 13.
That's a lot of movies. It's a lot of movies to rank.
It is. It is.
So, overall, this is the second time I've seen this movie too, by the way. So, the first one I just saw it raw. My jaw was just on the ground at that point, collecting dust the entire movie. So now that I can see this with a new set of eyes, so to speak, I can definitely tell this is a Rob Zombie movie. Through and through. There's no doubt about it. No other director can make a movie like this. I'm not gonna lie. Not even dare. Don't you even dare say Quentin Tarantino can do this. No, not a chance in hell. So that being said, it is a Rob Zombie film. They did toy around with the legacy of these characters, but they also gave a lot of heart to some of these legacy characters, as you can see with Jamie, who plays Annie, which is by far Brad's favorite.
Danielle, you mean?
Yeah, Danielle.
I knew what you meant, yeah.
Yeah, like, that's obviously Brad's favorite character or actor in this movie because she meant a lot to this franchise. And to see her, get slayed, like Rosalia said, it was really heart-wrenching. And that's definitely one of the part of the movie that a lot of people will say that will give the reason as to why they love this movie so much.
Yeah.
Minus all the other like dirty, grimy, bloody death and disgusting stuff. But it's like, if you like this movie, I can understand why.
Yeah.
Personally, for me, it's not my go-to. I'm not gonna see this by myself. I'm not gonna see it with Sierra. So Sierra, you're safe. You're not seeing this movie.
Yeah, Sierra would not.
me.
Julia does not like these. She is not a fan of Rob Zombie's films.
Yeah.
She's
But
seen them both, but
I'd say this. Here, I'll say this. J-Dad, 100% I agree with you. This movie is a trip worth taking.
I agree with that.
And it is weird. Very fucking weird. And it's a huge trip. But if you're going to experience the Halloween franchise as a whole, you have to see the Rob Zombies. And for some people, for people that watch the franchise like for the first time, Rob Zombie's Halloween might be one of their favorites. And I think that, which is interesting because I did hear a lot of people say that they hated the Rob Zombie films at Scarefest, but I did hear a lot of people say that they loved it. Like from the back of my
Yeah.
ears, I can hear people talk about it, and they say that this movie is definitely like one of their top films.
Yeah.
So that goes to say that I love how um this this fandom can pick and choose which quote unquote storyline that they want, whether it's the Man
Yeah.
in Black or the original or the 2000s pop culture ish, or the Blumhouse trilogy, or the Rob Zombies, or
Right.
the anthology of Season of the Witch. So
Well, I mean, you just heard my entire rant. I have a ton of problems, especially with the second film. I think people will be kind of shocked at how high Rob Zombie's first film actually ranks on in my ranking, because I actually really enjoy the first film a lot. The second film, I don't know. There's so many things that are good, but there's so many things that are bad that are just not. It's just not, and it's well done. It's not that it's bad. Here's why Resurrection. And I wanted to go back to this comment. J-Dead said Resurrection is an abomination. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is just a smelly taint attached to a nice booty. It's not all bad, but the bad parts really hit you in the face, and that's true. The fact that it had so. I think you just broke Miguel.
God, golly. Okay.
The fact that it had so much potential, and the fact that it's so damn good when it's so good, is just it sticks out. It makes the crazy weird decisions stick out like a sore thumb, you know. And listen, at the end of the day, I'm glad that they exist. Like, I am very glad that that Rob Zombie's H2 exists. I'm glad that his films react like this. I'm reading a comment. I'm glad that I'm glad that they exist. I'm glad that we can watch them. I'm glad we can do what we're doing right now and like take a deep dive into it and like really break it down piece by piece and chew it up and digest it and think about it a little bit more. But it's just, I don't know. It could have been in my top 5, I think, and it just, I mean, it's at the very bottom. It's not at the very bottom, but Jaded said the fact that Brad read that is why I love this channel.
Yeah, man. If you guys got great comments, we will definitely be reading them.
Yes. Rosalia said it will be a cult classic. I think it already is a cult classic in a lot of respects.
100% it is.
I do. I think it is.
Look, 100%. Look, someone bought that overhauled Michael Myers mask, that Rob Zombie 2, for over $200. There's obviously a cult classic somewhere out there.
That one was cheap compared to some of the other Rob Zombie ones I've seen. That was cheap.
I believe it. I believe it.
But I think the same exact thing is going to happen to Halloween Ends. I do. I think in a decade, people are going to look back at Halloween Ends and be like, that was awesome. That was really cool. I really do. I honestly think that. Art said, when are you guys going to do a franchise ranking for Halloween? Well, Art, I'm glad you said that. Next week, I'll get back to you. I'm not sure whether we're doing this on Tuesday night or on a Saturday night. Next week is a little bit more open for me, at least. But we are going to rank the entire franchise next week. And again, this is a show that I've been looking forward to since the time we started this channel. And now that Miguel has seen every single one in the franchise, like, we've revisited a lot of them, especially like we made our way through the first one and through H2O, or through H2 and H4, the Thorn trilogy and the H2O Resurrection timeline, and we've revisited the Rob Zombie films. We've revisited the Blumhouse trilogy. Like, now that we've kind of worked our way through it, we're gonna rank them. And we're gonna kind of follow the same formula. Like, I know we took a hard break after we did the show with Mike and Jay on Dream Warriors. We're gonna do the same kind of thing with Elm Street. We're gonna finish out the Elm Street franchise and then rank those. And we'll do the same thing for Friday. And we're gonna do that. We're just kind of working our way through. The reason that I like this Purely and Simply Evil show is I didn't want to do just reviews because everybody does reviews. I was trying to think how we can make this different, especially with the fact that I'm trying to introduce Miguel to so many of these franchises. So I kind of felt like it would be interesting to take deep dives into these things. So that's why we're doing it this way. So it's taken us a little bit longer, obviously, but I think it's worth it. I've really enjoyed taking a look back at the Halloween franchise, and I mean, who knows? Maybe next year we'll do watch-alongs. You know, we'll do the Thorn trilogy. We'll take a deep dive into the Thorn trilogy and do watch-alongs for those. I mean, we have a commentary already for each of those. You know, we have a Purely and Simply Evil episode, but like a live watch-along where we can talk to you guys. And I mean, I'm down for that. I think that would be fun. You know, and I mean, this show isn't going anywhere. I mean, even though we're kind of starting to wrap up Oktoberfest here, and the Halloween season this week, I mean, we're still gonna keep this show going, and we're gonna do zombies. I mean, I've said this before. We literally have probably 7 to 8 or more seasons of this show planned, like literally planned out right now, and it's gonna be great.
We're not going anywhere. I had a friend comment on one of my posts of us, you know, in front of the Halloween Ends poster, and I think she said something along the lines of like, I guess it all ends now at this point or something like that. And I was like, no, franchise ain't going away. We ain't going anywhere. So,
and listen, and that's the good thing about this franchise. If you love Rob Zombie's films, great. If you hate Rob Zombie's films, you have
talk to Brad.
You have other. I don't hate them though. I think I've made that obvious. I don't hate them. No, I really don't. I don't hate H2. I don't hate H2. I'm the parent that's like very, very like, I don't know. I'm very hard on them. Like, it's the child that I love, but I'm extremely hard on it just because I can be, and
it's
because
the
I want it to be so much better.
It's the passion for sure.
H2 gives me trauma. No, but yeah, man. If you hate Rob Zombie's films, go watch the Thorn trilogy. If you hate the Thorn trilogy, go watch the Blumhouse trilogy. If you hate the Blumhouse trilogy, go watch the first one. If you hate the first, well, nobody hates the first one, but if you want a sequel, watch the first two. I mean, you have. If you don't want to watch Michael Myers, watch H3. Like, there's so many different options, you know, with this. It really is. It's like the Batman or the James Bond of this franchise, you know? It is. Or the Spider-Man or whatever else that's got different iterations. So, J-Dead said 7 or 8 seasons or until the mini strokes catch up with Brad. Godspeed, Brad's brain. I don't think I'm not that bad. Right?
Take care of yourself, buddy.
Jada said y'all got to do a Stephen King. Oh, that's one of our seasons. That's something we have planned to do, an entire Stephen King season. Art said, should we do a Lord of the Rings franchise ranking for Miguel too? Ugh. Can I be honest with you?
Art, you're gonna be so mad at Brad tonight.
You're gonna hate me.
Art, you really are.
Art, this may be the night that you unsub from the channel.
Please don't.
Can't stand fantasy films. Art, please don't leave. We love you. I can't do it. I can't do Lord of the Rings. I can't do Game of Thrones. I've tried. Trust me, I've tried. My wife has tried. Miguel has tried. Our buddy Chris has tried. Like, so many people have desperately tried to get me into fantasy movies, and I just can't do it. I can't. I don't know what it is. That genre just does not appeal to me. I went and saw The Hobbit when it first came out with a couple of like with Miguel and a couple of our buddies, and they were like, that was the best thing, and I was like, that sucked. Like, I was like, I didn't understand a single thing that happened in that entire film. I know, Jay did. There you go. I don't know if I'm gonna make it 7 or 8 seasons. I don't know, man. Art said when I
I can't pick you. I can't catch you when you fall. I'm gonna say that right now.
Art said, when I went to go see Halloween Ends, I noticed all the movie posters in the theater lobby increased in size like 10 times. Is that the new thing? Yeah, there's a lot of really, really big posters out there now. Rosalia said they're entertaining for sure. And listen, if you love fantasy flicks, that's great. I love that you love them. But Miguel, stop looking at me like that, okay? I'm tired. I'm like the three in Jaws. I'm tired and I wanna go to bed. I had a little drink about an hour ago. Which I did. I
Hey,
had a little
J-Dad,
drink.
it's
I had a little
the
drink about an hour ago.
it's
I'm
the
not
ring
drunk.
affecting him right now. The ring is slurring his speech.
The Ring of Fire. Art said, no, it's okay. I didn't start getting into fantasy films until the late 2010s. That's true. Jaded said, boy, Lord of the Rings is a masterpiece. Also, stroke 3 and counting. It's fine. Guys, 2 minutes and 16 seconds. Oh my god. I hate all of you, but it's fine. I'm kidding. I love every single one of you. Except Miguel. You suck.
You know it.
Please still hold me in bed at night. Guys, thanks so much for joining us. This has been an absolute blast of an episode. I knew it would be. If you're watching after the fact, please comment down below. Let us know your thoughts on Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. It's definitely one of the most unique, one of the most talked about, and one of the most... I don't even know the word for it.
Controversial.
Yeah, but it even goes past being controversial. It's one of the most interesting, I'll put it that way, it's one of the most interesting entries in a franchise that's already pretty interesting. So just let us know, let us know your thoughts. Absolute blast. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Again, definitive shows coming up. We're kind of getting to the tail end of Oktoberfest here, which is hard to believe because we planned it for so long. And this is, the final week leading up until Halloween. We are going to rank the entire Halloween franchise. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at We Talk the Movies, and stay tuned to the community tab on the channel because I'm definitely going to be posting about that really soon as we kind of get a schedule. But we'll be back to rank the entire franchise again. That'll be one of maybe our longest and one of our funnest shows that we've had since we started the channel. We're very quickly approaching the 100th episode of the main show of Let's Talk Movies, and we have something really, really fun planned for that as well. That's going to be a hell of an episode. Miguel knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's going to be a wild episode. But it's going to be fun, man, and we're really looking forward to it. So thank you so much to every single one of you that has been in here. To our new people, to Colton, thanks so much for joining, man. It was a blast to talk to you at the Wham meetup and at Scarefest and to talk about the franchise. We literally sat there talking with people at the bar for almost 3 hours probably, just talking about Halloween. It was awesome.
I'd say
It was
like
literally
about
one of
2
the
hours.
coolest nights I've had in the last year. But listen, we absolutely love hopping on here and hanging out with you guys. You guys are literally the best. I mean, it's one of the favorite parts of my entire week is being able to hop on here and talk to you guys. So, and Miguel, I guess you're okay too.
Yeah, I'm okay.
So guys, please be sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at We Talk the Movies. We do new shows every single week at 8 p.m. and 10 a.m. Eastern. We are on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok at We Talk the Movies. I said that already. And we'll talk to you guys soon. We love you. Peace.
Peace.
We want the sizzle, not the steak.
Steak. How about the steak?
I know. Like what is he talking about, dude? What did that line even mean? Legit. What did that mean?
Don't get into that tangent. Love you guys.
I gotta go. Love you. Before I hop on a whole other tangent. See you. Peace. Bye. Love you.